Hello everyone, this is DeathToBoredom, aka DTB, and I decided to start something up again. The thing is that I have a lot of discussions like they catch my eye, and then like I make comments and whatnot, right? And I feel like it's just it's kind of a waste that like these things I'll have discussions about or like make my comments about more like, and it's just they get lost on the internet at some point, right? But like if I make it a video, it gets immortalized on my channel at least, and it's good discussion. This stuff, I feel it's just such a waste not to have these discussions. And for this one is about characters with the most potential but were badly written or done badly. So it could even sorry for the cough. It could even have something to do with their skills, but in any case, let me just drink first, because I'm gonna say a lot. But in any case, and like also coughing will probably go away if I drink and breathe more properly. I have, well actually I have been talking anyway, but let's get into it. So, till this day I still can't forget how horribly they made Kokomi. She's an intelligent war strategist, yet most of what she did in the main quest was stupid, and she didn't feel like the intelligent person that she was deemed as. I also won't forget about how people theories she's the secret Hydro Sovereign, which made her character really interesting, but then stuff happened and we found out Constellation being dragon had a whole different meaning. Another is Ayato. He's a character that is more about tell rather than show. He's just so forgettable and felt unimportant despite being important for Inazuma. He didn't appear in main quest, and when he did appear in events, it's just to tell Traveler how it's according to plan. And you know, people have different roles in media. Okay, that's one thing to take away from this, and that people they just don't respect it because like they're not, it's not like it's an education to like learn the importance of their roles, right? And both of these people I feel like are being mistreated basically. So in terms of Ayato, you know, he's always been that in the background kind of character, and I mean, when you're an introvert, that's like the best role ever, being in the background and just like dealing with everything in the shadows. Like, how can you ask for more than that? But obviously, you know, people want him to be around more and do more things and like show the player his capabilities basically. And that's where I can understand that, you know, they just wanted something, and that's fine, you know, that's fine as well. It's just the way that these people put it is as if what they've been doing wasn't good enough. Yeah, so I mean, it's not just not good enough, it's more like they're shitting on them basically. Like it's like the way that this person words her complaint is very, or their complaint is very strong, so that's why it gets to me. Like, you could have worded it differently if you meant it differently anyway, but as it is right now I have to take it as face value, right? Because saying stuff like he's just so forgettable and felt so unimportant. Like, he's not forgettable. It's at least he wasn't forgettable to me. Like, he just gives hints and stuff and that's it. But like, you know, he made an impression on me anyway. And that's the thing, it's like people have different views because they have different knowledge and different ways of looking at life. And the point of this video is to show a different point of view, which is mine. One that like appreciates writing and creativity in general when it comes to games and anime and all that stuff. But in any case, so what did I say though? So I did have things to say, but in terms of Ayato, I didn't say anything about him because Kokomi was the one that really got to me anyway. But and as someone who's never interested in Kokomi, that means that I'm unbiased. And let's see, the way I saw it, people just put too much hope into her. The actual fact is, she's a priestess, not a war general. She's not a goddess either. Priestesses don't fight, they are supposed to do the exact opposite of fighting. Keeping that in mind, she had to learn as much as possible for the sake of war. The fact that she was able to keep her ground and not submit to the literal monopoly of the strongest army in the nation was just pittance, and the support of Fatuis is a feat in itself that nobody ever acknowledges. Just give me a second. I'm having trouble talking because there's like this stuff, this weird... Gotta get this gunk out of my mouth. Jeez. So annoying. Okay, now I feel a lot better. Anyway. But yeah, let's see. The fact is, she was never going to win. What do you want? For her to put a dent on their army? For what for? Why do people put so much hope into her? I don't understand. Versus Raiden? Are you kidding me? The Archon that slayed Sangonomia's very snake god? Be real. And yeah, that was just me acting the part. Cause that's how I felt at the time. And that's what was like going through my brain. But like right now I'm totally like in a mood where it's like I'm past all of it basically. In any case, done ranting. The scene where they push back Sara's troops should be enough said. With how much reputation Sara has. As far as I know, she's the best in the army and they got pushed back when Kokomi comes in. In war, that's a compliment to be able to push back the best general and get them to the retreat. Could they have executed it more lavishly so people remember it better? Sure. Could Kokomi do more? From all the information we've gathered, absolutely not. The point of Kokomi and her place in war was that she and the Fatui are the reason they're lasting so long, and it strengthens the traveler's resolve to end the conflict by heading directly to the Archon herself. So, I mean, that's literally the story. If you play through the story, you know, I'm recreating it as is, in summary, that is. But yeah, like, it's just, you know, what more could you really want out of her as a character who, I mean, if you're biased towards her, of course you want more for her. That's not a question. But the thing is that looking at it from an unbiased point of view, you know, like, I don't know who these people are. You know, I don't know who this person is, if they're like a big fan of Kokomi or if it's just hearsay that made her sound so good. But it's not, the story's not to blame. It's the people that like just, you know, put her up on a pedestal. Because like this person says, you know, like I won't forget how people theorized that she's a secret hydro sovereign. It's like, what? Come on, man. Like what's the hydro sovereign doing in Inazuma, right? And then like, you know, basically, yeah, they put her up on a pedestal, and that's just unfair to her as a character. And like when they laid everything bare about who she really is, they couldn't accept it, you know. That's just so unfair to Kokomi. And like, you know, over the years, every time I see talk of Kokomi, it's always like about how she's such a disappointment, such a disappointment. Like I get it that she's a disappointment and all, but like how many years, how long is this gonna go for, you know? Like this is November 30th, 2023, okay? And that Inazuma arc was at least 2 years ago or something. I don't know. Like how long is this gonna go for, really? But that's my frustration talking anyway. I see people complaining about Kokomi all the time, and I'm like, you know, like when do you just get off the ride, you know? But that's why I make this video. It's because I want people to start getting off this ride, basically. Like, enough is enough for Kokomi. Like, stop dirtying. Like, just stop dirty mouthing her there, dirtying her name just because other people just like pushed her up in their expectations, you know. Like that's really toxic, pushing someone up in expectation when it's not who they are, right? Like when they put in all this, when they put in all this canon information for you to read and like to see that, you know, she's just a girl that like she didn't go into war because she liked it. And not only that, like Sangonomiya isn't about war. Like it's a miracle that she even made it this far, if anything. Like she had to learn about war in a very short amount of time. That like how long was Inazuma like having this conflict in the first place, right? Was it like 2 years or something? I believe it was like 2 years. It comes in really suddenly out of nowhere, and she has 2 years to learn the arts of war and to like keep the monopoly of this army at bay. You know what I mean? Like with no vision users, okay? And the Fatui helps her out because they know that she'll lose. I mean that is the reality of it. But in any case, let's see. Collei. That's another one. So I made my comment on Collei as well. Let's see. Her being sick could make some interesting stories and quests, but instead it's solved in a cutscene where we don't even see her reaction to realizing she's cured. Well, only her Eleazar was cured. She still has the Archon residue sealed within her, and Dottore PTSD. I don't know what that means, Archon residue. Like, the Eleazar should be the Archon residue, or something like that. Well, I mean, okay, actually, now that I think about it, everybody has Eleazar, and then like in a manga, the Archon residue is this dark aura flame that just like burns everything or something like that. And yeah, I just remember that now. In any case, Yeah, I have no idea what this Archon residue is, and like I was hoping that it would be like a part of her gameplay or something. I don't know, but nothing so far. Like that in that case, I that was my disappointment. It's like, where is this Archon residue now? What is it doing? Like what is Collei doing about this? And what's going on? You know, like I feel like that's like never addressed anymore. I don't know. Like this person is saying that the Archon residue is still there, so I mean it's sealed within her. So I guess that's it's just there, right? So I guess maybe she has some importance at some point is what I'm saying. But yeah, I mean, no way that Archon residue would be part of her gameplay though. Like that's just because that's against the game's rules. She's a Dendro character and she's only supposed to apply Dendro, right? In any case, yeah, I just like resolved all that all by myself in the span of like 2 minutes. She's like, I was disappointed in something, but now I'm not disappointed anymore because I reasoned with myself. In any case, I wanted to have a character who is really doomed and maybe used properly. The fact that she suffered from a terminal illness, however I changed my mind later, is not like they did nothing with her after she was healed. It was through events and some hangouts, but in the end, I found it rather compelling to see her trying to socialize and other people showing her their support so that she can get her life back. And then there was this guy, which was pretty interesting to me because, I mean, I know where he's coming from, which is why I made my comment. So basically he's disappointed in her because of her personality. She was quite snarky in the manga, and understandably so. She's shown to have been treated as lesser than for her illness. I do believe her new surrounding has helped, but I don't believe that it was enough to give her such a 180-degree flip. I would want her to see her outburst more and see her catch herself more, you know, like the one with Paimon trying to touch her. That would be way more interesting to me. Her fully being a character who's a nice person, but became somewhat jaded due to mistreatment of them, but now is surrounded by supportive people and is learning to function, but still has moments of insecurity and anger. That's what I expected Collei to be like, and while good for her, I'm a bit disappointed that it's not exactly what we've got. And then, well, I do feel you because I'm in the same boat. That's really just self-projecting. And self-projecting is like, you know, this person wants something that is pretty much exclusive to their own feelings because of the way that they lived, I guess. Whatever that may be is like, it can go two ways. Is one way that he lived that sort of life, and then the other is that maybe he just lived such a boring life that he finds interest in such a expressive character, in such an overly expressive character, more like that, like, you know, he himself doesn't show much emotions or doesn't have much emotions to show, and so like he wants to see it in other people because he likes seeing their passion in them. So that's two ways to look at how this person thinks anyway, but any more than that, I don't know. But if there are any more point of views to look at it, feel free to let me know. Those are just the only two that I can see right now. But in any case, so that's why I say self-projecting. But not only were her views changed by Amber, they kept in contact via mail, and she has a great teacher in Tainari who's patient, calm, and always helps people and the forest. When you're living under someone like that, and bear in mind she couldn't even read in the beginning, you shouldn't have a reason to be angry. There is no reason to be angry, because not only does she feel very small now, everyone around her is nice to her, and then there are books that are pretty much Teyvat's versions of manga or Japanese light novels. So she also gets entertainment and inspiration. And the thing is, she still has she still had her moments in the event where she and friends visited Mondstadt. She'd point out Sino's excuses and other things in complaint. She wanted to be treated more adult-like. That's very much in character to her manga self, in that she can be so impatient and rough around the edges. Now that she doesn't even have Elazar anymore, she gets ahead of herself. I liked her nasty self in the manga as much as anyone else, but in the end, it's a cause of situation, not because that's who she is as a person. She was very defensive because she's just a poorly treated animal, but what happens when you take care of a poorly treated animal? They will love you forever. But, that's just to support the idea of why she's such a nice person now. She went complete 180 from who she was back then, and like you get these stories a lot if you actually look at other medias, in terms of like anime or manga or whatever, right? In anime and manga, it's very prevalent to have like these very poorly treated characters, and then you just want to protect them, and you want to help them grow, and you want to take care of them, and that's what they do in the anime. And then what happens is like they grow up and they love the character that took care of them very much, and like their world is in color. They see a colorful world now because of this person or whatever, And for Collei, that's Amber and Tainari. It seems to be mostly Amber, but I believe Tainari is the one who actually is, because he's in most of her life now. It's just like he's the biggest influence. Like Amber is the biggest inspiration, I guess. Or maybe it's just like she's special because she doesn't get to see Amber often, basically. So that's why she has a special place in her heart and whatnot. It's like for Collei, Amber is her first, and people's firsts are special, right? But in terms of Tainari, I do believe that he is like, if we were to have them compete anyway, Tainari is like the biggest influence. But in any case though, but yeah, those are the two that I really wanted to get into. As you can see, or maybe you can see now why I wanted to make this video. So yeah, I hope that you liked what you heard and what you've read, I guess, if you've read any of it. But mostly just me talking and like just going through the throes of it, like a podcast, really. This is basically a podcast. In any case, I hope you liked it. So I'll be signing out now. I felt like I was gonna give an outro. I was like, wait, was I gonna say Hoyoverse? Hoyoverse.